Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking a little bit about the projects I plan to start working on with my AI and a little bit about where I plan to go with this channel in the future. So first off, with my AI, I have not made too much progress from the point that I was last week, but the general project I want to talk to you about is where I want to go with my AI in general, which is something that I think I haven't really gotten across with my past videos. So I won't be saying my total goal, because I don't necessarily have a specific goal that I'm planning to try and reach. I'm letting that be something that will evolve out of however I work on my AI. But as it is right now, my short-term goal is to is to take my AI to the next level, as it is, not necessarily metaphorically, but physically, in the sense that right now the AI has a parent program that writes child programs and then tests the child programs for their fitness. And this is something that is common in artificial intelligences, but what I want to try and do is, well, one thing is to speed up the overall process of learning. So that means streamlining the processes that the AI has to do in order to scan through the different child programs, but then also maybe creating thinking a little harder on the overall structure of the AI, attempting to see if there is an easier way to work out the best traits of a general program, of the child programs. But after speeding up this level of AI, I want to take it to the next level, in the sense that I want to create the next layer. Now, this layer is something that would it seems that the stream is having some troubles, but I think it's coming back. So the next level is to have a artificial intelligence that can make its own tasks and then apply the current level of artificial intelligence to find a way to complete those tasks. So as it is right now, I go through and I hand code the task that I want it to perform, whether it be the game with the red dot falling and the string of blue dots trying to catch it, or the most recent one of the HiveMind project, which was where 16 dots were roaming around on the screen, and the AI was attempting to corral them as to not run into each other. These are very abstract tasks, but the goal of the AI is to have a method in which real-life situations, or possibly simulated situations, could be solved through the program with the AI. So the idea is that if one idea that I was having, and this would be an idea of how to test the AI, I am going to need to do a lot of working on and thinking about about how to take the AI to the next level of intelligence. But once I get there, a way of testing a task for that level of AI would be to set up a habitat, in a sense. So let's say if we take it to a metaphor of a organism. So organisms need they need something to eat. They need a fuel source. They need then they need basic goals of what they need to do. So when you think of like something that you would need, you need water, you need food, you need entertainment, you need there's different things that are needs of an organism. So what the next level of AI would do would say, okay, these are the things that I need, and that, at least on this level, would be coded in. So that's something. It's like, let's say a artificially intelligent robot or something. If you have an artificially intelligent robot, then you would have to give it the desire to charge its battery, because let's say if you had a robot, then and say it had like a solar cell or something, then the robot would have to learn how to use the solar cell to charge the battery, because it doesn't want the battery to run out, because a robot can't turn itself back on once it's out of power. So the purpose of the AI would be to create tasks to get the robot to be closer to a light source, so that that light source can charge up the solar panel on the robot. And so that is just an example task. That's not necessarily an exhaustive list, but that's the idea. And so I do think that I'd be able to create a simpler version of that idea, where maybe there's a dot on the screen, and it has a certain level of battery power, so to say. And if that level gets too low, then the AI would then know that it needs to go charge up. And I would expect that the AI would fail a lot in the beginning, but this is something where, because it is an AI and it's in a simulation, it can try something out. It can try out a parameter listing for the parent program, and then when that fails, it says, okay, that didn't work. What can we do to be better? So it will change the parameters and the traits of the parent program, so that the parent program is better at creating child programs to enact the tasks that it needs to do. So this is it's almost doubling the complexity of the current situation with the AI, but I do think that with a little bit of time, this is possible. I'm saying this is possible, and I mean this for me. There are already AIs in the works and created already that other people have that can do this on at least some level, but what I hope to do is create this for myself, and that's the one thing that I've been trying to do with this program, is that this is something that I have done every single step of the way, other than, like, I didn't write the programming language, and I've imported a module that helps me print things to the screen, but those are something that is just sort of taken for granted these days. So currently, that is the goal of what I want to be doing with the artificial intelligence, and what you will see is that, at least for right now, there won't be any new projects immediately out. Like how I had the HiveMind project. The thing was that I had started the HiveMind project already, and I had made an improvement to it, so that is what you saw on the stream. But I will be attempting to make some steps in the right direction for that improvement to the artificial intelligence. In terms of the channel, I wanted to put out the idea that I can I'll put out the idea that I can make this this channel and the show that goes along with it a little more of a variety sort of sense. So not just necessarily talking and not just necessarily sitting here and explaining things, because I mean that is the general idea that I want to be. That is the general idea that I want to keep going with, and that is the general purpose of the channel. But the one thing is that I want this channel to be a community, not necessarily just something where you sit down and I teach you something. I want this to be something where I get taught back, and there's a back and forth with the chat and whatnot, and also to where it's not necessarily a sit down and learn something. It's something where you just come to talk, and maybe through osmosis the whole ideas start to come through and just sit in the back of your mind. Because what I like to point out is that in a lot of cases things don't seem like they're necessarily needed until you get to the situation where they're needed. So to have these ideas introduced to you basically just set you up for to be ready for the situation where they actually are needed. And there will be a lot of things that I explain on this channel that will never be needed, but I find those topics to be fun and entertaining, so they're easier for me to talk about. So I will continue to put some a little bit more on the silly side topics up. But in terms of topics, I mentioned in the description of this stream, so for Saturday's video, I plan on talking about the first topic, and I don't necessarily know if it'll be in this order, but the first topic that I plan on talking about is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it's funny because I actually saw someone in the comments mention that when I was talking about what I was talking about earlier. That is the general idea that I plan to eventually apply to the AI to an extent, not necessarily following the whole psychological hierarchy exactly, but having a hierarchy of needs and desires to be projected on the AI as a whole. But I'll go into more depth on that in Saturday's video. And the next topic that I plan to talk about is soap. And you may say, why the hell would you want to talk about soap? But a lot of people don't understand how exactly soap works, and I think that you will be pleasantly surprised to learn a little bit about soap. So that's kind of random, but come check it out, see what I'm talking about. And then there will be another of the segments where I do the paint drawing, which is what I have been doing. Those seem to get a good response, so, and I have fun drawing on the trackpad here. So that is the structure for Saturday's stream, and I hope for you guys to come out and enjoy the discussion. So I'll check here to see if there's any any questions. So yeah, the main question was in pertaining to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and yes, this the structure would be hierarchical in a sense that when, let's say, when this dot that needs to charge its battery is to a certain point of battery charge, then it doesn't necessarily need to charge its battery, but I won't be pointing out to the AI when that point is, because I don't necessarily know when the perfect point is. So the idea is for the AI to independently figure out when it needs to when it needs to stop charging its battery and go do something else. And I haven't really decided what the rest of the task will be, but I will keep you updated on any revelations I have in that term. But seeing as there aren't any other specific questions, I will be signing off. But I hope to see you guys Saturday, and I hope you have fun. So have a nice week, and I will talk to you guys on Saturday.